So it's such an honor just to acknowledge the great work that you're doing with Institute of Education. I started in my field when I was just a kid, and I know what it's like to have the impact of mentorship and apprenticeship in one's life and in one's career. And so I think the work that you're doing, creating that pathway for underrepresented and communities to be able to have a career in technology is such a gift. And it's something that professionally and personally I really hold dear. And I find it just really refreshing and inspiring when I see someone take their influence and really apply it to a problem that they see in this world. To be a force for good and a force for change.
She's a cynosure. She's the diplomat's diplomat.
What's a cynosure?
It's someone who is the brings everyone else together. Oh. Who is the deserved center of all that is happening. She's a bringer of the party. She's the mayor of Civic Tech. All of those pieces. And, by the way, she's a convener extraordinaire and not so bad on the tennis court.
Or the golf course.
And so he said to me, well, how do I address that person? I said, well, you just call her coach. Yeah. And he said, but how does that all fit on her business card? Yeah. And I said, well, you just have to have a very big one. And it's that big. Coach Cassie Kemper, the cynosure, the bringer of the party, the diplomat, the mayor of Civic Tech, convener extraordinaire, and one heck of a tennis player.
I've known Coach for 16 years at this point. I have never seen her play tennis.
You might be a myth.
Where's the proof? I think
Fact
you
check.
can I mean, ask yourselves. Those of you who've actually played tennis, don't sound off here. But for those of us who have not, it's kind of odd, right? She's never invited me to play tennis. I see her in tennis attire. That's the closest I've ever seen to playing tennis. But the real reason she's called coach is because of what she's done to coach so many people just like me in the ways of Washington. In the ways that people build relationships, the ways that people in government get to know each other and ultimately get things done.
A lot of times people, they don't really think about how all of us are coached different lives and what it is to be on a team. And if you have a great coach, how much more the sum of the parts are. Each of us, and a great coach sees each of us like our coach does. And the thing about the team that you built, Kemper, is there's no cuts. You know, we keep collecting us, right? We're always in. You kind of teach us how to play the sport, play the game, how to have, love when the Presidential Innovation Fellows are here and you're like, you have to actually say no if you're not coming. You say yes if you're how to RSVP so you can get invited again. It's like really basic things that people don't really know if they're physical to check. I had an amazing swimming coach who used to say practice makes permanent. And coach, what you make permanent is the connections that we have forever. And the talent that you bring together, it's what coaches do.
In early Obama days, the idea that technology can play a role in making our country better, to be a force for good, that was a new concept. And in Washington, so many concepts kind of fall either partisan. This concept means that only one side believes in it, the other side doesn't. Or on a rare occasion, it's something that can bring people together. Because Coach had built enough relationships, I don't know, a month into the Trump administration max, you hosted an overwhelmingly bipartisan group. And the Republicans that came in were like, wait a minute, the water here is warm.
Yeah.
We can swim in this pool.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, the tone you set to carry this momentum forward, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
And it is now absolutely bedrock that we're all on team progress.
Yeah.
Thanks to Coach.
But she brings them together. But she brings them together for a reason. And the reason, of course, is that you can spread
some of this knowledge and ability, but it doesn't sound like Jabberwock, and it does actually carry meaning, and maybe, in fact, will actually be put in good use. And she's been doing that for 15 years or more, probably 20 years.
30 years.
Oh my goodness.
Even before 1994, when I met you guys.
The question is simply this: why, given her efforts, is the world in the shape it is in? And the answer to that question is, however bad the shape is that it's in, it's better than it would have been without it.
So I'm free. So I'm allowed to say what you guys would never dare to, which is, Kathy, I love you.
And it's wonderful to have Ben and Nativity as a part of the Institute for Education. I was thinking about tonight, and I was thinking, you know, a lot of you here that are part of the Institute for Education and Leadership, I've known for a very long time. The Bryers, I have known you all since 1994. We met at the White House tennis court when Stephen was being preparing with Joel Klein, who was the White House General Counsel. Yes, yes. And we got out on the tennis court, and you know, we've been friends, and you all have been a huge part of the Institute for Education for years since then. And so that's a long time. My daughter has Kelsey Kemper Valentine and Max Dickinson, her fiance, obviously a very long time. And Gowrie and Ashok, when you first came in 2012, you know, Singapore is all over innovation and technology, and I thought this is going to be a great fit. And sure enough, you posted us, you're like family friends. You got my daughter an internship in Singapore, not his daughter. I mean, this is like, you know, really good stuff.
She didn't want to come back.
So that's all I have to say to thank you all. My hats are off to you, and I'm so happy to have you.